got a wild hair up my ass. Like all the fire towers in the Black Hills. I'm gonna try to do it all in one day. You know, when you get a wild hair up your ass, you gotta dig it out. Make sure it's not a bug. It's like 6 o'clock. I think I missed the sunrise by about 20 minutes. But this is the first fire tower. It is the Rankin Ridge Lookout. It's built in 1956, and it's the highest point in Wind Cave Park. And the 149th highest point in South Dakota, maybe? I don't know. Oh, there's a cool piece of dog shit. But I haven't had breakfast yet. As with all things, I think this is just a suggestion. This is the highest point in Wind Cave. Oh, it's a balmy 35 degrees this morning. I'm about halfway up Coolidge Peak. This was built in 1939 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. It was one of their last projects. It's at an elevation of 6,023 feet, I think. What else is there? That's it. It's a big piece of shit. It was originally called Sheep Mountain and Lookout Mountain. And 4 years later, they changed the name to Mount Coolidge. That was the year 1927. Mount Coolidge, obviously named after the word Coolidge, as in, that's pretty Coolidge and neat. It's staffed from May to October, and as of right now, I have a really good view of Crazy Horse, the Needles, and Mount Rushmore. Could probably see the Badlands once I get to the top here. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. Somebody dropped their fucking mustache. See that? That's fucking sweet. Can definitely see the Badlands. I can't make them out. There are are the needles. Can't really see it, but right there in the center, just above and to the left of that pole, is Mount Rushmore. And there is Crazy Horse. It's facing directly at us. And there's some trees and shit too. Couple rocks. That's where the Flash lives, as you can see by satellite dish. Alright, I'm heading up there to those two little tiny little nipples up there. Gonna go get some milk. I'm heading up to Black Elk Peak right now. People first documented watch fires up there in 1911, which I don't really see how they can say that with any certainty. They started building cabins and stuff up there shortly thereafter. It's really icy up here. I think in the 30s they started hauling stones up there to construct the current tower. They hauled them all up this trail, all by hand or by mule. And they finished that in around 1940. The elevation is 7,242 feet, and it is the highest point in the Black Hills. They use it as a fire lookout, obviously, and they stopped using it as a fire lookout in 1976 or 1967, one of the two. Just because it's so remote, and it just doesn't make any sense to have people up here when there's all the other fire lookouts. They named it Harney Peak after a general. I think he was a general. His name was Harney too. Coincidence. The lieutenant gave him the honor of naming it after him, after Harney and 600 of his men won a great battle against the Lakota Sioux down in Nebraska. They rolled up on 250 men, women, and children at night, showed up at their front door, and killed 86 of them. Half of them were women and children. He took another 70-some hostage. So that was a great victory. And the Lakota Sioux tried pretty much since then to get the name changed in the state. Kept shooting them down, not surprisingly. In 2016, they made a big push to get the name changed, and the state still refused. And the Board of Geological Names, or something like that, they went over the state and allowed them to change the name on a federal level. So it is now known as Black Elk Peak, named after Black Elk, who was a medicine man who came here and had his visions. here is where the sleeping quarters once were. Assuming this goes into the pump house. It's pretty cool they even had electricity up here at one time. It was up here that Black Elk had his great vision. I know I'll get some of the words mixed up, but I'll get it close enough so that you can get the gist of it. He said that he came to the highest mountain of them all, and below him he saw the great hoop of the world. And he stood here, he saw more than he can tell and more than he understood. He was seeing in a sacred manner the shape of all things in the spirit, and the shape of all shapes, as they must live together like one being. I think that's about as much as you can ask for from any vision, unless you get abducted by aliens. But this is one hell of a view. That's the pump station, a little pump house, and a little reservoir area where they kept water back when people lived up here. And this is the first time I've been up here and I haven't run into a single person on the trail. There is no one up here. I'd like to stay for a while, but I'm going to be cutting it short on time as it is. And there's rain clouds heading this way. So I need to get the hell out of here. They say if you're going to take unnecessary risks, you should do it when you're alone, just so you don't end up getting somebody else hurt. A side note, if you ever get the chance to hike Black Elk Peak, definitely do it on a cool day. The Forest Service recommends allowing 4 to 5 hours round trip, but you can do it in 3. if you really like self-abuse. This is the Summit Ridge Lookout Tower. I already walked around it and checked it out. There's signs that say closed to the public and area under surveillance, even though it's probably not. I'm not going to go up there because it's pretty fucking janky looking. All the stairs are made out of wood and there's a bunch that are broken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move along, even though there's no views from up here. There is this cabin here that used to house the people that manned the fire lookout. And this is actually the only Forest Service cabin in the Black Hills you can rent out still. The public can rent out, I should say. It's like $35 a night. There's no running water or electricity from the looks of it. Probably a wood burning stove. There's a regulator in back, so you can probably bring a propane tank up or something. But, yeah, it looks like it's pretty well maintained. But that was made over the course of 2 years, 1939 and 1940. Looks like there's still a pretty good view from up there. This is Bear Mountain Lookout. 7,166 feet. This was the site in 1910. Just a wooden outlook, that might be it here. They built this in 1930, or in the 1930s, I should say. They still man this. It's snowing up here. Windy too. It's the third highest peak in South Dakota. It's named Bear Mountain after the bears that were roaming here back in the 1930s. Looks like this has been converted to a bathroom or something. Yep, poop hole. The wind's blowing pretty good and it's snowing, so I'm not going to spend much time up here. This is Seth Bullock Mountain, aka Scruton Mountain. Altitude is 5,597. It's really unfortunate. This is all barricaded off. They had a wood structure up here in 1941 and they replaced it with this one in 1975. It's all steel. They demolished the original one with explosives. It's probably around here somewhere. I don't know, I need to catch my breath. It's named after the Scruton brothers. Well, it was originally named after the Scruton brothers. They had a gold mining camp somewhere down in this valley that we can't see because of the rain/snow. But they kept it a secret. And it remained a secret after the last one's death. Back in the gold rushing days of the good old Deadwood years. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt changed the name to this, as he did many things here in the hills, in remembrance of his buddy. But yeah, there's no way in. This is all barricaded off. I don't feel like doing it. My hips are hurting like a son of a bitch. And I got a couple mile hike back down and another one to do yet. So looks like it's all steel stairs. Would be a nice view. Anyways, moving on. Well, I saved about, at least an hour just bombing straight down this hill instead of going down the switchbacks. See the car from here, so I know I saved at least an hour. Considering it hurts to lift my legs right now, that is a good thing. So I'm heading on to Custer Lookout, or Custer Mountain, whatever the hell it's called. I can't really think straight right now. I'm pussing out. Hypoglycemia is a bitch. Well, up there is Custer Peak. Elevation 6,804 feet. Back in 1911 they built a cabin up there, but what is currently there, and I can't really see, was done in 1941. They did some touch-up work on it in 2008. Named after General Custer, the heroic war hero. Although he never even made it up there. As far as I know, that is the only fire lookout in the Black Hills that has a root cellar built into it. So I actually really wanted to see that. But it's not going to happen today because it's already 7:30. It's cloudy. The sun is soon, if not already, going to be setting, and I've already been walking through this shit for half a mile, and the snow is getting deeper. So I'm going to turn around and admit defeat.